Alright, welcome to the RPG Limit Break 2019 submission for Secret of Evermore project, which is the Secret of Evermore and Secret of Mana simultaneously played using one controller, splitting inputs to both games. So, we will kick this thing off and get rolling here. The first notable thing we're going to be doing is letting the opening play out for Secret of Evermore. Typically this is not done in any percent, but for the purposes of our challenge here, we are going to let it play out. Evermore is a substantially shorter game by comparison, so we will need to buffer some time by doing extra events and cutscenes and whatnot, just so that the games balance out closer in the end. And just a quick preface here, we will have dedicated commentary to cover things that are going on in both games for story-wise and stuff like that. For this submission video, I will be mostly concentrating on what I'll be doing specifically to keep the games together, as well as just covering major glitches and sequence breaks and things like that. Right here, I can mash the button to speed up Evermore's dialogue, but we're going to just try and hit it only when is necessary in Secret of Mana, so that it just draws out this cutscene a little bit longer. Certain points in the game we're going to want, certain points during the run rather, we're going to want each game to be at one place where the other game is at a similar place, so that they stay on track with each other. And the first thing we need to do is get Secret of Mana to the village around the time that Secret of Evermore gains control of the boy. This does take a lot of mental concentration, but we'll do our best. Due to the volatility of the games, both of them, there may be a death on either side, kind of to be expected, but if all goes well, we should get through nice and smooth. Now here, from the beginning of the moment you pull out the sword, this scene just plays on autopilot, so we don't have to worry about mashing through the text here in Evermore. We can let it play out at a slightly slower speed. And away we go. First thing we're going to want to do in Secret of Mana is collect some weapon experience for the sword, so we will be killing a few rabbites along the way. Stuck on trees. Collect both of these guys. And we'll be hitting this cutscene at the front of the Elder's house just in time to gain control of Evermore. Now, I'm able to mash through the cutscene with Secret of Mana using A, since we don't have the run ability in Evermore yet. And it won't affect our ability to use the bazooka on these two enemies here. Very nice fights. Sometimes they can be very trolling, move around a lot. And we reach our first major boss here in Secret of Mana. For this boss, we're literally going to be going hit for hit and trying to time our hits in a way that he takes damage and we don't. Or if we are poorly timed, we will take damage and he won't. This is not something you want to see. So if he gets too close, he does have a chance to guard. And somehow we survived that acid breath. It's okay, don't worry. Not the greatest fight, but we got through. Now currently I am playing these on emulator, which is a little different for me. Timing's a little off. However, we have a gentleman working on the rig so that we can do this with consoles, which will be ready, of course, by the time RPG Limit Break rolls around. In typical Evermore runs, you would be doing a skip here to bypass this raptor fight, but we're going to let this play through, add a little bit more time while Secret of Mana's cutscenes go on. Keep the action flowing. And hopefully these raptors cooperate. That guy jumped out a little early, but it's okay. Typically we just want the boy to die right beside the dog, one way or the other. And now we have control in Evermore. So we're going to go grab a few things in the village while this cutscene plays out as we get kicked out of the village in Secret of Mana. Again, mashing A while we move just to get the text flowing. Grab some chests here. Talk to some of these old folks. Great thing about this is we can run with Secret of Mana, and while he's running we're able to move in opposite directions with Evermore, which makes it very convenient to move both games along at the same time. Though there may be times where some strange Willy Wonka type movements are happening in one game. A bite, please. We've got a super bite here. Again, we just need a little bit more weapon experience. Flower should do it. And off to Lucas. Now one other notable thing is I can mash A in one game without affecting the other game. Call the dog 19. Another nice thing is typically this cutscene here in Evermore would be skipped, but we're able to then name the dog for incentive purposes since we want this cutscene anyway. But again, what I was getting at was we're able to hold A to run in Secret of Mana while mashing X or B at the same time, and we're able to advance dialogue in Evermore without affecting Secret of Mana so much. So now we got our, well, we didn't take it, but we got what would be our first alchemy for Secret of Evermore. Plant. Put that plant just for rounding up our money. Leave the dog here. This plant. Now we're gonna go pick up our ability to run in Secret of Evermore. sell off a few of our extra items here. Get the money we need. We'll listen to a bit of a story here in Secret of Mana. The boy to get sucked into that whirlpool. So we're going to move through a very dangerous area of Secret of Evermore. So mana will take a slight back seat. While we pick up our first alchemy here. And the ingredients we need to cast. Oh, you know, we should probably save here. Safety save, very important. There will be a few safety saves during this run due to the volatility of both games. Now I just want to make our way through with the dog. Dog's got a lot faster vertical movement. So it moves through this section rather well. So the Mega says no. It's okay. We're going to be switching to the boy inside anyway. Just trying to concentrate on both games. I find it easier to simply walk through the maze. The glitchless route, you're able to skip some of these triggers. Well, we don't want to do too many things in Secret of Mana with the menus. You can see menus go crazy as it's the same button for both games. Alright, so now I'm going to get through here. We did save, so we're going to reset Secret of Mana now. Load that file back up so we get near the front of the Water Palace. Grab the final clay that we're going to need here. Boy. Not far enough. I'll despawn that maggot. And some of the small nuances like skipping the intro to this boss we will not be doing. By doing that, will we end up causing the game to not load in these maggots. Alright, boss over. We can move on. Again, we do want some more weapon experience, so we'll be killing a few enemies with the spear along the way. Okay, Rabbi, please. He didn't want to go, and the numbers didn't want to roll high. So I'll head on over to Gaia's Navel and do some of the first major glitches of Secret of Mana. We got Evermore into this cutscene here. It's a safe place that we can set up the glitches in Secret of Mana. First we want to move through this cutscene. Trying to operate both of these menus at the same time is rather frustrating. Also, we're going to be doing some menu buffering so that the ring menus don't open up at the same time. Where am I short crystal? I have extra crystal. Oh, because I was short player. That's fine. Okay, so now that they're settled there, we can get these glitches going. Now what I mean by menu buffering is that Secret of Evermore's menu will open and close faster than Lana's menu. So what we're going to need to do here is, when we hit Y to open the menu, we need to double tap it so that Evermore's menu closes and our menu remains open. Otherwise things like this happen. So, what we did there is we switched our items so that they're in a specific spot to mess with the memory. Excuse me. And by doing that, we can open the buy menu, close it, open the sell menu, and suddenly have access to the buy menu. And by selling items in the buy menu, we get ridiculous amounts of money, the game gets confused, and we benefit. And we're going to harass this old man with the dog. And it's nice being in control of the dog as he moves very slow and he cannot trigger the save and alchemy menus from that alchemist there. So now that we got all the money we need, we're going to buy a few items and then we can get on our way. What we want here is 2 of each consumable. We'll be doing another glitch shortly, which is going to underflow our item value to gain access to more items than the game would typically allow you to have. Again, buffer out, buffer out. Do one safety save here. And away we go. Just gonna grab this biscuit here. Okay. I want to gain the dog a level before we move on. So we're going to kill a couple snails. Nice dodge, buddy. And we want to finish up our weapon. Whoa, look at that guy with his giant hitbox. I'm going to finish up our weapon experience for the spear. Should happen on the next enemy. And we'll make our way back to town. Very careful of those slimes, they're not friendly at all. Excuse me, bats. Seems we're one level short, or one enemy short of gaining our weapon level. It's not a big deal. Yeah, so we're gonna go visit Watts here, get our weapon reforging set up. Get level 2 for the sword, which we need for some other glitches in Secret of Mana later. Grab this call bead for the marathon safeties. Oh, I get a bit of gear here. I'm gonna buy 8 of these. You'll see why shortly. Now we're only gonna... Oh. Yes, I need to buy still, please. We're only gonna need 1 helmet. However, we're gonna buy a few more just for extra trashing gear. I'll find more about that in a second. Alright, now we got all the gear we need. Alright, so we're gonna set the boy up here. Buffer the menu off. Set the boy up here. Equip him. Trash our equipped gear. By trashing our equipped gear by standing in this specific location on screen, I believe it's the specific X coordinate, we're able to underflow those items as I was talking about. Get this cutscene started here. One nice thing I like about this challenge is no 2 runs are ever the same. There's slight variations, you just gotta kind of think on the fly. But now that this cutscene plays out, we have a chance to move Evermore to the boss of the first act. Hopefully not get eaten by bushes. Good bushes. Dog. What I did there was I set the dog far away from the screens. The game only allows so many sprites on screen at one time. Dog, too close. Okay. Don't worry about that. So by having 3 other sprites on the screen, when I switch back to the dog, the game deloads or unloads the rocks. And by holding up while the screen transfers back to the boy, I'm able to move through the rock before it loads back on the screen again. Sorry about these shenanigans. Just gotta get the boy through the sewers. We may go back and forth through these screens a couple times. It's okay. That's normal. That's normal. Alright, I'm gonna do this here. Safe to save. Do some pre-casts on these guys. It wasn't enough. So we didn't get the dog as level, but that's okay. My mama's just gonna have to take a little backseat in this room while we take care of this extremely dangerous boss. There we go. So what we're doing is we're timing these. We're opening the menu right as they all hit so that it tricks the game into thinking that he was only hit with one. Which tricks him into not casting his super powerful heat wave spell. And voila! Pop goes the weasel. Now we can move on and get our boss fight done here. In Secret of Mana. Something wicked this way comes. And it's a spiky pineapple. We're going to try and release our sword charge in such a way that it causes the pineapple to stay and not go back under the dirt. Oh, that was a little poorly timed. If you time it incorrectly, what will happen is your attack will essentially do no damage. Gotta squeeze in some extra hits just as my 100% goes while it goes underground. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Like that. Very nice. Those are good numbers too. Too early, bad form, Jack. And there he goes. And the spiky pineapple was put on a pizza. Now we're going to do a trick here where we buffer the dog in the corner. I have a little bit of difficulty doing it with this particular controller on the emulators, but we'll get it. No problem. And we'll set the boy's AI to aggressive. Try and get the boy to move across the gap. Oh, he tricked me. We're trying to do a little cutscene skip. It's not a huge deal whether we get it or not. Just makes things line up a little bit differently. Since we don't have numbers, this will call the sprite. $19? Alright. Let's get this dog starting on this cutscene. Anyway, we can get out of here. This is where the second controller is going to come in, controlling the sprite for certain amazing glitches, some of that super OP-ness. But first we're just going to set up his gear. He's going to need the sword temporarily because this boy is going to need the spear, but we're going to get him equipment. Somehow the boy was not equipped anymore. Very strange. Alright, now we're going to take his controller. I'm going to switch it upside down as I'm holding the controller upside down. And we will get our spear back on, and away we go. Actually, we should probably get our gear back on as well, shouldn't we? Sometimes weird menuing is just a byproduct of the challenge. Working around it. No ingredients. Alright, now we're going to take Evermore up to the town here so we can get started on its huge glitch. The thing that makes the run the run. But first we're going to utilize this developer skip to get to the town nice and quick. Typically it's like a 2.5 minute walk through that desert. And that's using zigzag movement. You'll see I use a lot of zigzag movement. That's because your horizontal running speed is faster than your vertical running speed. And you'll gain time by doing it that way. What can you do? You can change money, thank you very much. And you can sell me this here pixie dust. And as many of these as you'll give me. Excellent. And we'll spin round the merry-go-round. Who disturbed Meg's Mucklebone's rest? Yes, I will take your Atlas Medallion for 100 jewels. Thank you very much. Sprite, can you not hang out there? So, AI pathing for Secret of Mana. If you've ever played this game, you know it's a treat. If you haven't, then I'm telling you right now, it's a treat. And by treat, I mean it is a headache. Okay, killing this flower should get us what we need. Or not. Head on over to the water palace. And then we're going to tie the boy to the post. So using that same developer skip, we can use a similar one to get back. It is a lot harder to trigger. Sometimes it just takes a few attempts. And there we have it. So now I'm going to turn on second player on Secret of Mana. I'm going to do a safety save here. No. Just in case the Atlas glitch doesn't really go so well. But while we get this glitch set up, we're going to use the sprite to leash the boy in Mana so he doesn't end up walking into some strange place. But we're going to gain a level off these spiders first, just to have a little bit more leeway setting up this glitch. Should take 4 or 5 spiders. Try and group them up as best we can. Not sure how we ended up in this screen. Sometimes I hit controller 2 with controller 1's body. It's probably what happened here. Alright, got the level we need. So we'll just do a safety save here just so we don't have to grind out the level again if it comes to that. Let's just get them back into leash position. Right, so now we're going to be looking for some specific status ailments from these enemies, and hopefully they all cooperate. Well, first we want poison from the spider. I believe it's a 1 in 8 chance for them to apply the effect. So that's good so far. Now we just need to hope for How did that happen again? How do we keep getting here? Looking for the monk to hit us with Plague or Confound. You have poison for me. There we go. And plank. So now we're going to hit ourselves up with this item, which revives us when we die. We're going to hit ourselves up with the defense spell. We're going to hit ourselves up with the attack spell. Okay, so now we just saw the poison tick. So now what we need is to wait a little bit before the next poison tick. And the game gets tricked into thinking we have absolutely unreal stats. Now before we move on in Secret of Mana, we just need to get Evermore deep into the desert. A few kills. A few kills. We do need a little bit of money with Evermore. I'm just looking for a level here real quick. There we go. Alright, got our level. Away we go. Now we're going to set up the boy here. He's going to put on the proper weapon. And I'm going to release this charge attack and hit the rope pole. Oh. I guess it helps if the sprite has proper weapon too and can actually hit the rope pole. Alright, so we're gonna hit the rope pole when I release the charge, and by doing that, it tricks the game into thinking that we're able to pass through objects, as that's what the game does when you use the rope at the rope pole. But, of course, we don't have the rope, so we gotta sneak in the back door. So by targeting this guy from far away, the sprite moves through the walls trying to get to him, as we, again, use the rope pole. Need that level with the spear here. Okay, buffer. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes. That's the nature of the game. Okay, there we go. Now we can swap out our weapons to what they should be. Make our move. Passes bats. And we've come to a dangerous place. We've got that nectar, thank you very much. Wolf, no. I'm gonna leave that guy there so it despawns these enemies up here. Head on into the castle. Nice level on Evermore's side. I'll let this guy spit out a few guys. Alright, I'm gonna hit that, run up here with him, switch back to him, and in the door. Now these wolves are very annoying. Oh boy, is doing nice. Not bad. They can really juggle your characters a lot, be very, very annoying. Right. Looks like, no, we didn't hit level 10. We want to get level 10. Kill this guy. He's invincible. Spouter's invincible. It's okay. So, safety save here. Alright. We're just gonna get Evermore to the town. Looking for a specific rock formation right here. Alright. Now Evermore is set on a global timer. It needs to wait a little bit. So while that happens, we're just gonna abuse these guys. Get our weapon level up. We need level 1 with the spear with the sprite, and we need level 2 with the boy sword. Now we'll finish those off on these chairs in the next room. I turned you off, Sprite. Well, these things don't really have iframes, so you can just kind of mash them non-stop. Alright. Sword's level 2. Spear should be shortly following. Sprite hits for 0. Lovely. Okay, one more should do it. That one's going way up there. It might be best to get a few easy kills with the sprite before we get to this point. Alright, so now we want to swap weapons around. Get a barrel placed on the sprite. Alright, and while this cutscene happens, we will get Evermore to where it needs to be. Alright, the market's still going. This is my corner. Alright, so I'm going to do some manipulation of the tiger here. I'll head both characters down at the bottom right corner and try and get the sprite into the tiger's mouth. Alright, so sprite is in the tiger's mouth. We're going to get our charge going. We're going to remove the barrel. We're going to swap weapons. We're going to trick the game into overcharging our weapons. Coach will cover how that works. And we're going to just absolutely decimate that boss. No spiky Vigor. Typically, the market timer should end sometime about now. However, we did fail the early dog and fell into the pit and had to do that cutscene then, so we weren't able to utilize that cutscene during this time in the market timer. So that's where things are probably imbalancing. Not a huge deal. Having the Atlas glitch and the defense glitch for invulnerability just makes it so that we can just sort of move through dungeons at our own leisure. Okay, I'm gonna try and trap this old lady in the corner. I don't want to buy any beads. It's a very small save having the sprite talk to the woman here. Oh, because I'm holding down. That makes sense. The only thing is that when you trigger cutscenes while second player is active, second player gets control of the dialogue advancement, which is very strange. Oh, we're ready to go. Get out of this forest. Go get our first spells. Yeah, poke him in the butt. I didn't see nothing. Maybe that. You don't mind if I just walk by you, do you? I can get out the way we came in. Don't worry about that. This Viger fight being very simple can also be very dangerous in the sense that it can soft lock. So we'll need to be very careful with how we kill the boss. Just kind of come in, poke this fish, run by with the sprite, run by with the boy. No, no thank you. A little bit closer, please. Don't want to miss. Open the door. Boom, ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. So there's these dudes on the left side under the awning. I don't know who they are. If you can tell me who they are, I'll give you like $1,000,000. Of course, we know who those Final Fantasy VI characters are. But who are those other two characters under the awning on the left side of the screen? One of them almost looks like a Bomberman sprite. It's very strange. Piques my curiosity. And his challenger is some loser with a claw. Well, that's not very nice. I missed him. That feeling when you miss him? I killed him with a menu selection in Secret of Mana, just so everyone's aware. And now for something completely different. We're gonna head to one of the harder bosses. He's very dangerous if you don't get the quick kill on him. If he's allowed a chance to cast magic, he could be in trouble. And because of that, we're gonna just do a quick save here. We're gonna do the moonwalk down that hill. That's cool. Alright, so now these magical orbs are required to pass. You need a certain spell in order to take it out. But since we just got a sprite, since we just got magic, of course we have that spell. Oh, that's no good. These goblins can be right annoying if they want to juggle you. Run, 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 run. Boy, let's go, let's go. Game says no, can't go that way. We'll get the whip on the sprite. Let these guys spawn. If we get 3 of them, we can get 3 of them, we can despawn this guy up here. Sprite, please don't play with these guys. Let's go, let's go, run. Okay. We're just gonna tuck in here. Ooh, Sprite does not have the right weapon. That could be bad. Poke! Scary boss down. So now we're going to do the same sort of way as skipping past the desert, but now that we have the dog, we just need to run the boy far enough away, switch to the dog and hold up, and the dog sort of wraps the screen. And we just want the dog to gain a level or 2. That would be stupendous. We don't need revive. What we do need is limestone. Lots of it. And we're gonna need some wax. A bunch of that too. Alright. There we go. Dog stay, don't die. We get another level for the dog. And for some of the skips coming up, we really don't want the dog to die. Just gonna walk on out of here. And the dog on up. Please don't get killed, dog. Oh, there's a platform. Boy came up real quick. That's nice. Leave the dog here. Excuse me, bees. B? Where did you come from, B? Alright, I'm gonna head on over to Pandora. And we're gonna go hit up this cutscene. It's a nice long cutscene. Adds a decent amount of filler to the run. And we'll just sort of make our way through the pyramid as we, or make our way through the temple rather, as we make our way through the Pandoran ruins. Excuse me, girl. Hello, Fana. His fan disappeared. Nobody knows why. Oh, but she's back. It's okay. I'll take your revealer formula, but what I really want... I actually won't take the revealer formula, but what I want is the skull beads. Every little bead helps. Let's just get you around the corner first. Boy is tangled. Oh, really? Didn't realize it worked that way. Okay, can you, leave him alone? I love the way that enemies just juggle your characters. Get him, boy. Get him. This is nice, because the boy will just autopilot. Don't worry about that guy. Sometimes the games kind of work against each other, which is unfortunate in this case. Boy's getting suddenly fireballed. And boy gets his revenge. Zombie? I'd like to get by now. Thank you. Alright. Just get this cutscene triggered, and away we go. And the dog died. Playing with that slime dog? Alright, now, so we're gonna have to do this boss first. GG to you, boss. GG to you. Now his timing's all off. There we go. Boss down. Dog, get over here. very important that we don't come off too far on the end of that platform. It will trigger the dog to follow. But we just slip off a little bit to the left, the bottom by the pit, we're good to go. That's why we left the dog there. It's why we wanted the dog to be alive. Otherwise that doesn't really work, does it? Jima? That was a boss, sort of, mini-boss kind of thing, I guess. Don't know where he came from. I kind of need the boy on aggressive. Otherwise we just gotta change it back. Alright, so we're gonna just sort of move the boy here, move the dog here. Hopefully the boy doesn't go. Okay, cool. Sometimes the boy will start like aggressively chasing some of those enemies there, and it's very uncool. Out of here. Okay, now if the dog dies, it's not such a big deal. But we get some very precise movement through this next section. There's so many enemies. Running through this place is kind of a hassle. Excuse me, flower. Dog looks like it's taking a beating. There we go. Perfect. No, 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 boy. No, 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 I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Nice try, though. Appreciate the effort and all. Don't mind me, just moving them both along. It's okay. Okay, except for here. One of those annoying moments where the game's working against each other. In the door, please. If the dog makes it through here alive, it will be a miracle. Monk. Strange. Okay, hello, monk? Where's the monk? Oh, weird. He was like stuck inside the secret area. That's crazy. I've never seen that before. Typically the boy was supposed to autopilot and kill that monk. Alright, well, we're done with all that. We're gonna go finish the boss. And now that that's all taken care of, everything in this section of the world is done. We can head to the upper land. Yes, water palace. We don't want the dog to die yet. He still has use. In fact, we actually want him to follow us too. Now here's an instance where I'm going to be holding R the entire time so that the boy doesn't switch back. Excuse me, Spider. And we're just going to do a quick safety save. Not exactly one I like doing because it's pretty far out of the way. But this next boss, if he wants to troll, well, bad things will happen. We'll be redoing content, so... excuse me. No. No, okay, I guess we're sleeping. So if you're holding a direction on the D-pad, you can't actually make a selection in Secret of Mana. So that's sort of what happened there. I didn't mean to sleep. Just sort of happened. Switch, please. Excuse me, boys. He is guest star. He is Astar, a robot from the planet Danger. Oh, see? 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 Whew! That was a... oh, I guess the dog's not on the Switch anymore. That was a sticky one. Once again, we're back to solid R. We don't want to come off that switch. Don't want to switch between characters, but we don't want. So the back and forth is just so intense. They got away. Alright, now we can get some precast going here. To the upper land. Oh, not that spell. Oh, poor sprite hit his head. Just gonna remember some stuff. I'm gonna get this boss done while we hang out in a Moogle village here. Excuse me, little Moogle. Now this boss, you can accidentally re-trigger him. He comes out, he immediately casts Confound. We can menu cancel the Confound animation by opening up full screen menu. These rabbits are very mean. Very mean indeed. Alright. I'm going to go for a very specific charge here, try and kill as many as we can at once. Got him? Yeah, got him. Excellent. That's kind of what we want to see. It's a good fight. Just gonna go take care of this real quick. We do not want that interfering with what we're about to do here. Gonna send the dog across this trigger. Okay. Alright, cool. Oh, sprite's still on. Trying to figure out what's keeping me from moving here. Safe to say before this next boss is he's also a jerk, likes to throw magic around. Boy is stuck on a tree or just getting attacked by the bird? Okay. That's okay, we need to burn off some of that confound anyway. Oh. Nice swing, Bada Bada. Nope, ain't nobody getting acid storm today. Poor dog just can't catch a break. Alright, so we're gonna send the sprite up here and the boy up here. And sprite is not in a good spot. Trying to get this guy to, whoa, turn around. Turn around. Look at the sprite. Oh, it's all messed up. Come on. Oh, great. It's casting. Balloon, that's okay. That's not okay. Well, that balloon lasts quite a long time. Alright, try that again. The bird would just cooperate, face the right direction. Oh man. Why are you looking at the boy? Forget the boy. Look at the sprite. Look at the sprite. Look at this guy. Look at the sprite. Look at the sprite. Can you cooperate, please? No. No. Just does not want to do his thing. Alright, okay, yes, 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 thank you. Now don't move. Don't move. Like, just die. Thank you. I don't know what your beef was there, bird. Alright, so now we got the boss coming up here in Evermore. And the final cutscene will allow us to get through this forest without worry. We'll also be picking up our next elemental spirit. While we learn the history of this sprite. Just assumes that the dragon can help us. How does he know the dragon can help us? That dragon's been tainted. Hopefully we get through this forest with no problems. Very specific movement, get away from these enemies, especially these crawly guys. They're like nasty. Okay, there we go. No problem. And then we get silenced. It's cool. It's cool. Aggressive birds. Did somebody ever say birds are jerks? I remember hearing something about that somewhere. Boy, those are trees. Those are trees. Remember I said birds are jerks? And sadly, no trace of them was ever found again. Sadly, now I gotta work around this cutscene. Haha! Not today, bird, not today. Okay. Lost track of my rock. Voila. Alright, we're gonna rest here. We could rest in poor Evermore. We'll utilize the position of the screen to swap characters and sort of move past those guys pixel by pixel. Always tries to go down there. Maybe we should run at an angle there. Well, these mushrooms cause just so much problems. The enemy spawns are so inconsistent. Alright. Right, let's go. Ooh. Oh, bird. So aggressive. So aggressive. It's insane how aggressive those birds are. that's a rock. Again, I'm going to be looking for a very specific charge. It's not it, but that'll do. Cool. Take it. Where are we at here? Let's not get lost in this here dark maze. You run down that way, please. Alright, dog's dead. It's fine. So I'm only casting 7 here. If you cast 8 and he casts a spell, there's a chance that the game will crash. And we'll finish him off with some fireballs. No problem. Alright, now the next major point we want to hit is the desert around the time we get to the dark forest in Secret of Evermore. Axe, hello? That'll put everything sort of on track, and don't worry about the color. Nobody knows what's going on there. Nobody knows. Kakara, please. We've got a really funky text box here. Sometimes during all the shenanigans, text box ends up changing, and it's it's a real treat to see which ones you get. I call this the thin border water splash. I just made that up just now. Oh. Let's find a way. We'll grab this Annihilation Amulet since we didn't get it in the desert town. And we'll use that to get a ticket here. There's another very major skip coming up here in Evermore at the end of this next long cutscene, and a very minor little time save here. Just want to slip behind this guy. Oh, never mind. So we're trying to prevent the those other sprites walking up and him sort of introducing the whole thing. Very minor, but we just messed it up. Alright, let's go talk to these guys. Excuse me, guards. Now, because the game removed our characters, you may have noticed we haven't had the girl this whole time. But the game's about to replace the characters back in the party, and by doing so, we will finally get access to the girl. If you've never played Secret of Mana before and don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. Oh, what girl? Let's go the right way. Oh, right, that didn't work anymore. Do it with B. This will be a good time for donations. Alright. I want to make sure at the end of this cutscene, though, we're prepared, though. If we don't get to skip, well, you can imagine. You, sir, I require your weapon. Good night. So in this next section of Evermore, this banquet scene is supposed to play out, but we're just going to exit the room before it has a chance to trigger and break the sequence of events. And cut out one of the more annoying sections of Evermore casually. Alright, so we want to be running down here when we enter this room. And that's that. That's all we gotta do. Easy peasy. We're gonna hook up some fresh new gear. Oops. Set her up with the whip. So I'm slightly behind in Evermore than where I'd like to be. It's not a big deal. And we still have things that we can do to add and remove time if necessary. The key is to make sure that they end close to each other. Excuse me. Bird, sniff, sniff. Alright, so now we can just autopilot this boss as we go through this forest. It's always the one that makes it past that never gets hit. I mean, obviously, I guess that makes sense. Go! Kissing doggies here. Oh, forget them. Forget that dog. Nobody cares about that dog. Alright. I'm just gonna quickly top up the girl. Alright. Find out where this gentleman is hiding. Sneaky bugger. It's worth noting that all bosses from X point in the game, which we already passed, and onward have this 30% chance to just outright evade your attack. Now, the two games I chose to use the Secret of Mana soundtrack because I just feel it's a lot more diverse, while the ambience of the Secret of Evermore's music is great and everything. It's not the same. I feel like something like this, we kind of need some real music. Can you hit that stove first? Excuse me. Alright, so now we get to the Dark Forest here. Mana's just gonna have to take a small back seat while we make our way through this forest. Forgive me while I concentrate on not getting lost. Go, boy. Alright, so you notice we didn't go to the Santa's, whatever, the Frost Gigas place to save Santa Claus, if you're familiar with the Secret of Mana. There's a very specific reason for that. It's going to allow for some major sequence breaking later. And we're going to do some other sequence breaking that will negate the need to do that. But first, I got a little bit more forest to get through. What's she stuck on? Oh, she's running that way. Alright. I want to get to the inn so we can fix any items that we need. Yeah, candies are fine. Bells are fine. Yeah, we should be fine. Just going to do a very important safety save here. It's kind of the point of no return. We can essentially soft lock Secret of Mana, at least the run itself, make it unable to continue. Should we accidentally run out of barrels, shouldn't be a problem, but just to be safe. Alright, so we're going to do a technique called barrel sliding. I'm going to get a barrel on both of these characters. I'm going to cast a spell to lock them in place and use the animation for a specific purpose. Not yet. Okay, I'm going to get a barrel on the girl. And we will slip past this ramp that's technically only a one-way down, negating the need to go to save Santa Claus. Right. Not really the place to be messing around. I need you to come with me, boy. Don't worry about that cloud. Quacker's the duck. Alright, I'm gonna turn on second player control, leave the girl here. Slip by these guys if they'll let me. Put the girl up there. And use the rope poles to clip through walls once again. Kind of a common theme, but a really awesome thing that can be done. Allows for much of a lot of the run as it is. So we're back at the beginning. What's going on here? Oh. switch. Excuse me, maze. Alright, this should be an easy boss. In theory. But that evasion can be really killer. Like, his hitbox is ginormous. And there we go. Doing okay on time here. Doing okay on keeping everything together. Be able to go through the sewers while Evermore, or while Mana does its cutscene up here. Alright, now we'll make our way to the Empire. Well, Evermore takes on the last boss that we have that we require alchemy for. Started. Excuse me, sir. My people are trying to do their thing. Excuse me. Alright, now we want to get some very specific positioning here with the girl. That's perfect. With some pixel perfect positioning, we can slip past along the top that girl trying to block the thing so we don't have to go get the password. And this is the perfect dungeon to like have a cutscene in for Evermore, because man, this dungeon is scary. Let those guys multiply a little bit. Just gonna take this nice and slow, nice and safe. Make sure everybody's ballooned. Everybody comes down one at a time. Let's go. No, 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 get away from the fish! Some insane damage that thing did. Alright, you. Balloon all these gentlemen here. Boy is getting comboed. Last candy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Those fish are just rude. You don't want to come through this door with the boy in the ghost state, otherwise the game will crash. But we can leave the girl dead because we're going to hit the inn anyway. We're pretty on track though. Ideally what I want to see happen is I will get both flying devices around the same time. So I should get the Pots and Pans ship in Evermore and Flammy in Secret of Mana within a few minutes of each other. And while we're here though, we should probably fix those candies. Anything else that needs top up? So candies are fine. Or candies need fixing rather. Barrels we can fix as well. Okay. So again, standing on that very specific spot. Oh. Anything else I turned off by accident? There is too. So anyway, turning those off, restock our items, get the sprite re-equipped. No wonder he took so much damage from that explosion. Alright, now we can make it into this next dungeon. I saved there because this vampire boss coming up can be trolly. We don't want to accidentally burn too many items. Something I don't really want to see during this is exactly kind of what's happening now, where two longer cutscenes are playing at the same time. Get away from it for the most part. There is a couple instances. Though these two happening at the same time isn't always guaranteed. It just depends on the variance of the run, what has happened in between, how many deaths, whatever. To the door. Sprite didn't get hit, right? Let's go. Let's go. Zombies, please. Moonwalking zombies, let's go. Oh, it's not very often you get juggled in this room. Can't say I've ever really had that happen before. Wow. Wow. Sure. Haven't even gotten to the scary part yet. I knew you were gonna do that, boy. Scary room. I ran up at an angle there, despawned a couple guys here. It's very important in this next room that I run along the top, otherwise we will get rocked by the red slime. Apparently everybody's getting rocked anyway. Cannot hit that guy. All right. Almost at the next big boss. Oh, I didn't make it? Get in the door! Get in the door! Alright, we're fine. We're fine. Hello? Oh. Cure Water's first turn. Curious. Some more of that lovely evasion. How many cups do we even have left? 3? Wow. Open up. Please stop dodging my attacks. Thank you very much. Right, now we gotta take Evermore back to the old castle and fight the imposter queen. Just get this cutscene started. Do not want to get lost in this maze. Oh, the girl died again. Alright, dog is definitely gonna die through here. It's okay. Got an extra biscuit. Don't really need the dog, just makes the boss fight a little less annoying if the boss wants to be trolling. Alright, we'll just hang out here while we fight this boss. Okay, whoever hit him was a jerk. I have to ditch my charge there. Sprite's getting rocked. What's wrong with you, Sprite? Get up. Are you swinging your sword? Why are you so aggressive? You ruined this fight for us. Just swinging your sword at the beginning. Jumped right over me. Gotcha. Just need one more hit. And here it is. Maybe not. Okay. Nice dodge. Okay, what happened there? Vampire not cooperating. Okay, leave the boy alone. Girl, get targeted. Girl, vampire, get off the boy. Oh, that should have killed him. He's gotta, oh, you know what? He's gotta have like no health left. Which I could kill him with a spell. He's just not cooperating. Thank you. Vampire is my least favorite boss in the entire game. When he does not want to play nice, he just does not play nice. Not that he's inherently hard, he just loves to just waste time. Should probably bring the dog back to life. Oh, can't say I've had that happen before. There. You feel better now? Alright, and with that down, I'm gonna go finish up our next boss and we'll have both of our flying contraptions roughly at the same time. Alright, first things first, we need to get the girl killed so we can do a pretty big sequence break coming up here. It's okay, buddy. You can swing. Nobody's gonna blame you. Alright, what do we want? We're gonna turn off like everything. Don't even want that menu. No. But I would like to concentrate on this section so we don't die in the poisonous water. Though we are invincible, this water does persistent damage when you stay in it. And, yeah, there's a chance of getting yourself killed if you're not careful. Alright, we'll let this cutscene play through while we set up this glitch here. We're just going to bring the girl in the corner, send the sprite over here, turn that boy off. Revive the girl when her little ghost is on the other side of this soldier. And we're in. Turn the girl off. Well, I'm pretty happy with this run. Things are meeting up the way they should be. Evermore is actually a little behind, but is still in an okay position. I don't mind it being here at all. Now we're gonna kind of manipulate this boss, moving to the bottom of the screen here. He's not going to be able to do his ram attack at us. We're too low to trigger it, provided our characters don't walk off funny. As long as they stay down here, we should be fine. Just wait for the spell to disappear. Again, we got to deal with that 30% charge. 30% evasion. Whoa! Just dropped to control it. Alright, boss down, boss started. Dodgy. Is that you, Truffle? Ah, I knew it sounded like Truffle. And just like that, we'll pick up Flammy here, and at the end of this cutscene we'll get back to the other castle and get our pots and pans shipped. We're gonna make another safety save before going to this mountain because when things go bad here, things go really bad. Sure, we'll even stay. Just top up that MP that we used, even though it wasn't much. And we get beautiful RNG from the king. Secret of Evermore has what's known as cutscene RNG, where things happen in the cutscene differently every time. Sometimes the sprites move in mysterious ways. Nobody really understands why. It's just the fact of life you have to deal with. Alright, let's go to Scary Scary Mountain. As its name suggests, it's a scary, scary mountain. Let's go, girl. Sprite, 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 sprite. Ugh. We're actually running out of medical herbs. We need to fix our items as well. Alright, so we want to head on up here, turn the girl on, send her up here, get the boy over here. Get the girl moving up, barrel the sprite, send the girl... What? Barrel the sprite, send the girl up through the wall. Oh, she didn't quite make it, of course. Sprite. So this can be a kind of frustrating trick to pull off. There we go. And not really the hugest time save. But it's still fancy. Oh great, I did the thing. I did the thing. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Literally gotta move them one at a time. Alright, let's go. Get in the door. Alright, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna fix our items while we're here. One, two, three. Oh. Somehow we were just a pixel off from getting the barrels. Try to hold this. There we go. So the positioning has to be pretty precise. Not ridiculously so. Well, I mean, I guess sort of ridiculously so. You can get some items with improper positioning, but otherwise you won't get them all. Alright, this is a very dangerous place. You don't really want to run in this place either. Tends to be a lot safer if you just walk. Unless the boy gets stuck. Whip it. Whip it good. And sometimes they just get stuck anyway because it's Secret of Mana. You know how that goes. Pathing, please. Let's go, guys. Forget those slimes. You really don't want to be messing with those pink wolves. Hi. Alright. So, by doing that sequence break past these rocks here, we're able to circumvent quite a few extra dungeons. One thing I really, really love about Secret of Mana Speedrun is there's so many crazy little skips, so much content that's missed. Oh, okay, no, let's go with you. Let's go with you. Alright, so now we want to go southwest, no, southeast. We're going to land over here by this castle. Now this castle has a unique property in that when you enter the screen that I was just in, you gain a sort of death resistance, or sure what you want to call it, second chance. But basically the game intended that if you were to die on the boss, it would just kick you out of the dungeon and you'd be sort of back to health and everything would be good. So we take that and we apply that to our characters, and then we're going to use that to basically trick the game into thinking that we completed this next boss. Oh no, that boss does some crazy damage. So here we are back at the castle as if we died on that boss. And then get on out of here. Now we're going to land over here. And by landing here without actually entering the screen from the bottom, the game memory gets a little bit corrupted and it doesn't know where exactly the save information is supposed to be. So what we want to do here is we want to revive both our characters. Talk to Nico here. Save the game. This is going to create a corrupted save file. This game doesn't quite understand what you just did. It doesn't have a set starting position for when you come through by landing there, as opposed to walking in there. I'm sure our commentators will explain that better. Where are you going? You're going this way. Now we're going to start the new game. Seems kind of weird in the middle of a run, but yeah, we're starting a new game. For a very specific reason. We're going to go collect some parts so we can build a spaceship to get to the final dungeon of Evermore. This is where there's a bit of variance depending on where the two games are. I can either retrieve this one twice as you typically would in normal any %, or if I need to kill more time in Evermore, I can walk down to the this particular boss that you're intended to get the item from and fight them that way. But I think for where we are right now, we're not going to need to do that. Alright, now because of all that corrupted shenanigans, we're back here in the hometown. And for some reason the boy is not visible. We're just going to head east here. Okay, now we're going to head in here. I'm going to turn on the invisible boy and we're just going to attack with him. Apparently not. We're going to attack with him, and the girl will clip through the wall as if he was like a constant rope pull. Alright, I'm going to get to the other side. We don't really have to, but what we're going to do here is just get this guy sort of out of our way. Get the sprite down with this rope pull. Or the sprite can get rocked by a pink wolf that somehow spawned. Okay, we need to get the sprite down here, swinging at that rope pole while the girl goes up. Okay. We're gonna have to redo that save corruption again. Because this stupid pink wolf decided to spawn, but that's okay. We'll work around it. And you can see just how much damage these enemies can do to us when we're not properly equipped. So you really want to be fast and you want to be lucky. And unfortunately we just did not get lucky. Alright, now that we've got the sequence of events. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. We used a candy or anything that causes the boy to animate. So he did like the fist bump animation. And that will bring him back into existence. And wow, we almost got pink wolfed again. These guys are just ridiculously dangerous. And we'll just poke this guy until he dies. Oh nice, 2 shots. That doesn't happen very often. Alright. This is a fairly nasty boss. Well, I guess she can go 50-50. For the most part, it's really easy if your positioning is right. Sometimes the boss just wants to be uncool. Alright, so you want to send the boy up here. Get the girl over here. Get the boy charging. Weapon glitch going. Oh, that's not good. And we're just going to use the girl to take the attacks. I want to reset that. I didn't have a good charge. Eventually it's going to evolve into something else. Something very uncool. But this is what we want. We want him to be dispelling the girl constantly. Pigment's glare is okay. We can bring her back to life. And down goes the boss. And Evermore's got a bone. It's got a bone to pick with this game, I'll tell you what. I want to use spears. Spears have the fastest horizontal run speed. That's why you'll see an Evermore constantly intentionally equip back to the spear. Set on up here. Trigger this. We're going to reset the game again. What this is going to do is going to cut out some cutscene from the next boss. It's going to mess up the music, but it's also going to restore our items back to full, or the position they were when I first did the save file. And if we're lucky, we'll kill this boss before he even gets to the bottom. And by lucky, it's just a matter of whether he's going to evade with that 30% or not. But this boss is kind of funny. He casts wall on himself, and then he casts speed up. But because he has wall on himself, oh, whoops. And that's what happens if you get too high. He decides to do his crazy charge attack. I'll just bring the girl back to life. That wraps him up. So now because of the position of Evermore, we don't need to go and do the extra fights to kill some time. You just grab this gauge and move on to the final dungeon. While Mana also moves on to its final dungeon. We're in a pretty good position time-wise. Excuse me, sir. Yeah, drop your bones. It's okay. I needed a pedal, right? Crash here. We're gonna go get our final gear. That's the reason we got so much money at the beginning of the game. just so we can buy more stuff here. We get all the best gear in the game, all the best purchasable gear in the game. Alright, now we're going to suit up. Oh, whoops. I just threw that in the garbage. That wasn't very smart, was it? Alright, we'll do a final safety save of the game. No. Yes. Good, if we can find this place. Okay, now let's move on to this final dungeon. We got one more bit of shenanigans in Secret of Mana to take care of. Okay, we're going to send this sprite over here into this position. Get him charging. Release. That looks good. So what we're trying to do is this little yellow thing that typically springs you up to the next level, we're going to kind of store his spring. And we're going to make use of it right here. So normally when you get to this fortress here in a typical game, it kicks you out and it makes you go to the Pure Lands to remove the barrier here, but we just use that spring to skip past the barrier and allow ourselves access to the final dungeon nice and early. Good, we got the despawn on the little clapper guys. Movement in the final dungeon of Secret of Mana is extremely precise. A lot of the stuff we're going to do will be to intentionally despawn enemies, running at angles in these doorways. Oh, nope, forget that. We'll go this way. We don't mess with pink wolves. Though they're not nearly as dangerous now that we've got new gear. Still not something... Oh, boy's getting hit. Still not something we want to mess with. Oh, I'll do candy. Oh. Well, we're gonna have to use magic. We're totally out of... Sprite, you were already on the right side. We're totally out of healing herbs. Spawn that book. Got rid of that ninja as well. Okay. Hit this button, we'll move on. Don't worry about those clappers, we don't want to mess with them. Now we've got the second vampire fight. What I'm going to try and do is lock this guy in place with magic. Not too much. Okay, this is kind of the attack that I want. Anything that gets me spinning. No problem. Easy fight, right? Nice thing about Secret of Evermore is we're going to basically put the final boss on autopilot. Let me just get your weapon switched back to spear. We'll put the final boss on autopilot. Let's get back through there. And we will fix whatever items we need to. That's good, that's good. Everything seems pretty good. Alright, so we're gonna do some shenanigans to glitch our way into the final boss room. Guys, forget the book, forget the slimes, and away we go. Alright, get the dog up here so we can get this fight started. Alright, now that that's started, we're going to hold R so that we don't accidentally switch back to the boy, and we're just going to let the boy autopilot. It's very important we get this 2.9 charge here. Because other attacks, like anything that moves your character substantially, mess up this fight. If we get too far from the jelly and he gets too big, it becomes impossible to hit him in the core unless he happens to move on to your character. Luckily he's just targeting the sprite, which is nice. He's getting a lot of dodges though. We'll definitely have to fix our chocolates after this. Last chocolate. Alright, boss is down. And the rest is pretty much gravy. Okay, we want to open a full menu here. So our characters just gained a whole bunch of levels. By opening the full menu, we're able to kind of cut short the whole level gaining text. Oh, girl, 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 girl. Whoa, Sprite just got rocked. So we don't have cups of wishes, medical herbs anymore. We're gonna have to heal them the old-fashioned way. Oh, faces of death. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Alright, right on. Those faces can be extremely dangerous. That's a good way to get your entire team wiped out in one hit. Sprite. I know you like that corner, but we need you to kind of continue on with the game. Oh, nice. Almost got bad breath. Certain parts of this you just kind of want to control everybody one at a time. It makes it a little bit easier. So stuff like this doesn't happen. Excuse me. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's go. Okay, cool. That's sort of the last dangerous enemy there is. Tsunamis sometimes hang out in front of this teleporter here, but it's not really a huge issue. Okay, now we're gonna fix our items. Cups of wishes, we got plenty. Okay. Maybe roughly here. Just make sure Evermore is still going. And if we can find that pixel perfect alignment, then I should do. Fine. All right. Get him, boy, get him! Gotta be a little careful with this next boss, because these panels are going to start to change, and there's potential that you can get stuck behind them and soft lock if you don't have a way to bring the dog back to life. And the sprite was standing in the worst position. Sprite, get up here. I'm gonna hit her up with one of these. She's gonna need one before we get to the Mono Beast anyway. It's been a great fight. Oh, until that happened. One cycle them anyway. Nice. Alright, Lich down. And basically the Lich of Secret of Evermore is going to be down any second now. Alright. Okay, now we can auto battle the rest. Well, I guess we got time during this cutscene. We'll just wrap up Evermore right now. And Evermore is nevermore. And this is looking like a PB run. This is looking like a first sub 3 ever. Alright, girl. We're going to put your sword back on, boy. No, oh my god, dumbass. Okay, get in the position. Mana magic cast. We're doing another glitch here to keep constant mana sword. And basically entering here before the cutscene has finished, it also, well, it basically shortcuts the cutscene there, but then we're going to be doing something else to keep the mana sword constant. Ooh, I'm excited. This is a really good time. Alright, here we go. Final fight of game 2. First thing we want to do here . I'm going to cast Ice Saber, any kind of saber really, and that's going to lock the mana sword on the boy. Oops. Position, charge is going. No! Why do you do this to me? Super annoying. So we got a bad charge attack. It's not helping. Gotta hope for some wax before this thing evolves into what it just did. Nice. Don't die, girl. Oh, hello. I released that. Thank you very much. This has been kind with the loosened beams. I'm using magic here at specific points to negate the damage that he's doing. So you can interrupt damage in this game by casting spells or doing animations, like item animations and stuff, just at the right moment. Make sure the sprite is in the middle so he gets targeted with loosened beams and not the boy. No, I was not prepared for that. Lost my charge. Dang, I'm not going to one-cycle this. This is super annoying. Whatever. Okay. Jeez, are we gonna have time? No? Really? That's so lame. Oh well, still gonna sub 3 this. But damn, that's super annoying. That's why it's very important that you get the proper charge attack going. I should only be a couple hits away. Our second round was so bad. I guess he was way more than a couple hits away. There he goes. Boom! And that is the madness. The madness that is playing 2 games at the same time. Personal best though. Pretty sick. I'm pretty happy with that sub 3. It's the first one. That's a PB by like 3 minutes, or by 7 minutes. And I even had like probably a good 5-6 minutes of like deaths and stuff that we had to redo, so that's pretty good. I'm super happy with that. So this was Secret of Evermore, which turned out began as a passion project, and I just figured, you know, we might as well submit it wasn't sure if there was going to be any SOE or SOM submissions this year, so I figured I'd get them both in one go, just like that. Again, we will have dedicated commentary to do filler stuff for lore and whatnot. And of course, we will be doing this on actual hardware should the run get accepted, but that's it for tonight. I really like the way this one went. We'll get this all submitted afterwards, and we'll set up for our next game.